Hello everyone, and welcome back to another week of workouts with PRF, Para Rowing Foundation. I have Jen Fitzroy with me here. Thanks, Jen, for coming for another workout. Today we will be doing some seated work as well as some work lying on the mat. Focus is going to be on controlling the serratus muscles, which are those nice little saw-shaped muscles right underneath your armpits. And you will need a band and either a foam roller or a pillow, okay? So we're going to get started with our warm-up. We're going to do our regular shoulder warm-up, but we're going to do it lying down today. So find your roller and go ahead and lay back so that you're positioned with the shoulder blades resting on top of that foam roller. From here, gaze should be up at the opposite corner of the ceiling in front of you to keep the neck from extending too far back, and take the hands right above the shoulders, and we're going to start with our protraction and retraction. So as you exhale, push the fingertips away, feel the shoulder blades lift off the foam roller, and then as you inhale, pull the shoulder blades flat and feel that wrapping towards the spinal column. Exhale, pull away. Feel the shoulder blades roll off. Inhale, pull. Fingertips come towards you, chest reaches wide. Let's do 3 more like that. Good. Making sure that you're linking the breathing to the movement. Feeling that broadening of the chest as you retract and the broadening of the back as you protract. Last retraction here. Leave those hands in neutral, or shoulder blades in neutral, and we're going to take the hands behind you. And we're going to do our elevation and depression. So as you elevate, press the shoulders towards the ears, and as you depress, reach the shoulder blades towards the hips. So it's elevate, fingertips go further past your head, depress, pull the foam roller underneath you. Last 2, make sure we're getting that core involved, thinking about plugging those shoulders into that top rib. Last 1, pull down, take a little back bend if you need to release any tension in that neck here. Support the head with the hands as you extend that spine. And right here, think about finding that extension in the thoracic spine, so the middle back. For our next warm-up, we are going to involve a little bit of flexion and extension in that spine. So come back to neutral, and we're going to take the hands back up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, we're going to roll into a little chest lift. Think about pulling that rib underneath the belly, and we're going to circle out to the sides. Let the head come back as you extend over the foam roller to reach all the way back behind you. Exhale, curl up, arms reach long. Inhale, sweep back around, extend over the foam roller. Exhale, press and curl. Inhale, sweep and extend. Last time in this direction. Exhale, fingertips reach across the room, shoulders blades down the back of the body. Inhale, find that extension, and let's switch directions here. So it's exhale, come out and around, squeeze the armpits to reach long, and then inhale, float the arms up the midline as you move into that extension. Exhale, pull the armpits, reach long towards the hips, curl up. Inhale, arms come through the center, and then into that nice extension. Last 2. Exhale, press the hands. Inhale, float, and release. Last time. Exhale, press up, reach, and inhale, come all the way back. Place the hands behind the head again, and again, just stay in that extension for just a moment. Let the head rest heavy in the hands. And feel that nice movement of the spine backwards in space. All right, let's get to work. So come off your foam roller. Place that off to the side. We'll need it a little bit later, so don't chuck it too far. And you're going to grab your band and come to a comfortable seated position. We're going to start with a little external rotation. Jen and I were talking about how sneaky all of the workouts have physical therapy just introduced into them. So here we go. This is your external rotation. You should feel this through the back of the shoulder, and it's going to be a pretty small range of motion because it's the opposite of what we do a lot of our days. So hands are palms up, about shoulder width on that band, all right? Bring the elbows right underneath the shoulders. Good, elbows bent. And now we're going to press the band across the belly, across the rib cage, and then draw the band back to center. So I kind of picture this like you're holding little mini trays of, whatever beverage you want to have, and you hold it out in front, and then you serve it to your friends on either side. Yeah, and then we're keeping everything just kind of like, little Barbie or T-Rex arms, so that we're really working into the back of the shoulder. And you should also feel, to a lesser degree, a little bit of that wrap of the shoulder blades around as well. All right, let's take 3 more. Exhale as you press. Inhale, come back in. Last 2, starting to feel that burn. Make sure we're not using momentum, so it's pause in front, and then resume the movement, and bring it all the way in. Release for just a second. So we're gonna add in a little shoulder press. So start by pressing like 1 inch into your external rotation, so just a little bit. From here, we're going to take that whole shape up in front of us, and then we're gonna reach all the way up and overhead. Draw the elbows down, and then bring the knuckles back out in front. So it's a little bit of external rotation. Press up the knuckles to the ceiling, and then reach the shoulders up. Try to keep those ribs down. As you draw the elbows back in front of you, pull from the armpits, like you're doing a pull up here, and then knuckles come back out in front. Let's do 4 more. Exhale, press up and reach. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we did very few of these demonstrations when we were warming up because they're really hard. So make sure that as you're pressing, you're thinking about the depression in your shoulders, so we're still pulling the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you pull down, think about pulling your chin over the band. Create that resistance in your body. Last 2. Press up and hold. Keep that little bit of external rotation. Embrace that nice little burning feeling in the back of the shoulder. Last one here. Exhale as we press on up. And inhale, pull down. Awesome job. All right, so we're gonna do our eyes, Ys, and Ts here with the band, starting with our Ts. But we're gonna add in a little more range of motion today. But remember, if going up and overhead in all of these orientations doesn't feel great for you, you can always stop at shoulder height. All right, so we're gonna take a wider grip on the band, okay? So about hip width apart, okay? And from here, roll those shoulders down and back, and we're going to exhale, bring the hands out to the side, and then all the way up and overhead. And then press back down, lengthen the band across the chest as you bring it back down to the mat. Good. Exhale, press up to shoulder height, and then allow the band to help you move into that big semicircle with each arm. Press the band away. Think about pulling the armpits to the hips as you bring the band back down. Nice job. Exhale, press and lengthen. The tension in the band should make it feel like it's a little easier to let yourself come up and overhead there. We've just got 3 more. Reach the fists as wide as you possibly can. Yes, think about Jen and I are going to give each other fist bumps, virtual fist bumps every time, because we're stretching so long across our screen. Last 2. Press wide and feel those shoulder blades slide on the back. Reach wide as you come down. Last time. And last time on the way down. Nice job. All right, those were our T's. That was our warm-up for our Y, all right? So for the Y, we're gonna go palms facing down, okay? A little bit narrower than what you had for your T, okay? And you start by taking your hands out in front of you, okay? And we're going to reach to our Y, so this should be opposite corners of your room, and then continue up. Keep that same Y position. This is like a barbell position. And then draw the hands back down to the center and then down in front of the knees. Good. Exhale, reach up and over. This one should be a little harder because you're having to maintain that same tension on the band the whole time. Good. And as you draw up, I want you to think about your fists staying the same distance apart the entire time. Good. Again, let's make sure we're keeping that little bit of depression in the shoulders so that as we reach up and over, we're not decapitating ourselves with our shoulder blades. Last two. Fists same distance apart as we reach up and over. Think a little bit of external pressure into that band. Last one, coming up here. Use that breath, rotate the shoulder in the shoulder joint, and then draw all the way back to center. Whew. Let's take a quick stretch. Those are killer. Reach your right arm across your chest, and let's just give yourself a little stretch across the front of that shoulder. Switch sides, big open in the middle. Left shoulder draws across. Reach the left fingertips towards the edge of your screen. And then when you're ready, we still have eyes to go. All right, these ones are pretty challenging as far as shoulder range of motion. So again, you can always stop at shoulder height, or you can repeat our Y one, which with the wider positioning will put a little less strain on the shoulder. Palms are facing down again. This time, we have hands about shoulder distance apart, and we're going to put, again, a little bit of tension out to the sides, and then exhale as you draw up right above the head, and then inhale, draw it down. Good. Exhale, press into the band, pull the shoulders down the back as you reach the fists towards the ceiling, and then draw it back down. Good. Same idea as with the Ys. As we reach up, our fists are not getting closer or further apart. Use that top set of abs and think about drawing those ribs down just a little bit as you bring the band up and over. So it's almost a little shift of the body back with the abs. Last three. Draw up, exhale, belly in, draw down. Last two. Exhale, pull those armpits down as you reach the fists up, create that opposition. And final one here. Lovely. All right, one more seated here before we head to a little bit of planking. So we're gonna take this band and you're gonna drape it behind you so that it looks kind of like you're wearing a shawl, all right? So this should wrap right around the shoulder blades. And we're gonna do our protraction and retraction, or serratus hugs, as it were, with the band. So make sure you have enough tension in your band that when you extend the arms, you feel like the band is gonna kind of pull you back, all right? Now what we're gonna do is you're gonna protract, all right? So think about using your armpits to push the band wider on your back, and then retract and relax. Good. So it's protract, punch the knuckles forward. Think about pushing from the armpit, and then pull the shoulders back. Good. On this next one, I want you to push and hold. Press a little further. See if you can get those knuckles 1 centimeter further away from the body, and then bring it back. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, press, punch, lengthen, widen the back, pull back in. 2 more. Exhale, hold it out, knuckles away from the torso, pull back in. Last one. Shoulder blades lengthen side to side and wrap into the armpits, and then pull back in. Whoo, nice job. All right, band is gonna place right off to the side because we're gonna need it in just 1 second. And we are going to grab our foam roller for a little planking action. So flip over onto your stomachs, and we're gonna place that foam roller or pillow underneath the hips. Okay, give yourself the support. And we'll take it to a forearm plank. All right, now for our first one here, we're just gonna hold. So when you're ready, I want you to think about pushing your whole forearm into the mat below you. Think about pulling the elbows back towards your foam roller a little bit to get that squeeze underneath the armpit. Gaze is right in between your forearms. The back of the neck has no wrinkles in it. And as you exhale, I want you to think about hollowing out those top ribs, pulling the ribs nice and tight together every time you exhale. Good. Full force into both of those arms. Draw the armpits down the body for 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew, take a break. You can rest your head right on your hands. Whew, we got 1 more front plank, and we're gonna add that serratus hug. So you'll grab your band. We're gonna, again, drape it around the back so that you're wearing your band shawl, okay? Find the right tension for you. The more you choke up on it, the more tension you will have. Band is right around the shoulder blades. Find that forearm positioning again, and now, first set the plank. So think forearms nice and even into that mat below you, gaze in between the hands, and pull up through those ribs. Now, we're going to do that serratus hug. So push the shoulder blades back into the band, and then pull the chest forward. Exhale, press and widen the back. Inhale, pull forward, widen the collarbones. Exhale, press from the armpits, slide the shoulder blades. Inhale, pull from the armpits to return. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, press away. Even weight into the hands and the elbows. Inhale, pull back. Make sure that that neck is moving with the shoulder blades. Exhale, press. We're not turtling. Inhale, pull. Last time. Big press away and hold. Drive into those elbows and hands a little harder. Push the chest as far away from the mat as you can for 3, 2, 1, and release. Take that band off to the side, and we're gonna flip onto one side for your side plank. Now, depending on what you're comfortable with, you can have the foam roller underneath your side, or you can take this into an unsupported side plank. So whatever feels right for you today. All right, begin by making sure that that elbow is right underneath the shoulder. All right, and legs can be stacked at a 90-degree angle or staggered. Again, find a position where you feel stable. And from here, you're going to press into the bottom elbow. I want you to think about lifting out of your shoulder socket. All right, cool. And then you can extend that top arm up or have it resting down. Again, up is going to give you just a little bit more of a stability challenge. So as we exhale, I want you to lift out of that bottom shoulder. And as you inhale, I want you to keep that side of the armpit that's closest to the mat pulling up and away. We're making sure that we have lots of space in our neck, looking straight forward. And we're holding for 3, 2, last one, and bring it down. All right, let's reverse the side. So opposite side, same setup. Again, start by setting that elbow right underneath the shoulder. A lot of times we want to set a little bit too far away from the body, which just puts the shoulder in a more compromised position. So right underneath, start by pressing the elbow firmly into the mat. Think about broadening those collarbones as you reach the top arm up to the ceiling. And again, as you inhale, pull the armpit away from your foam roller. And as you exhale, reach across the chest. Make sure that those shoulders are stacked on top of one another. We're not rotating backward or forward. Fingertips are straight up to the ceiling. Nice job. Keep breathing for 3. Last 2. 1. And release. All right. Place your foam roller, well actually keep your foam roller. We're gonna flip onto our backs and just use that foam roller as a support under your knees. I don't have enough in my room in my apartment, so I'm not gonna do that. All right, so lay all the way down. Again, you can use that foam roller as a support underneath the knees for a little bit of low back support. And we're gonna take our band and wrap it underneath our shoulder blades again. You can do that seated as well and then lay back if that's easier. All right, we're gonna do a chest press here. So elbows are out at a 45-degree angle, which means that they are lower than the shoulders. So they're not straight out to the sides, lower than the shoulders. Find a tension in your band where you can feel it even with the elbows bent. And then as you exhale, you're gonna press up to the ceiling. And then inhale, bend the elbows and draw back down. As you exhale, feel that pull across the chest. And then as you inhale, I want you to feel that work behind in the back body. Exhale, press. Inhale, pull. And the pull has to be a little bit more deliberate because the tension is working with you at that point. So you have the support of the band moving back. And so you want to still continue to think about resisting the movement. You are creating the path. You're not just allowing that band kind of drag you down. Good. And as you press up, think punching knuckles to the ceiling. And as you pull down, I want you to think wide elbows, wide chest. Let's take 3 more. Inhale on the way down. Last 2. And then on your last 1, press up, pull the elbows down, take a quick break or reset if you need to, because on the next one, we're gonna press up and curl up. So press up and curl up. Think about that chest lift. And then inhale, return everything down to the ground. Exhale, press and curl. Can we get a little bit of that serratus action? Think about reaching the knuckles further across and then pull back down to the ground. Exhale, press the knuckles, reach the shoulder blades back into the band as you compress the space in your ribs and draw back down. Let's do 4 more. Exhale, press and curl. Inhale, lay everything flat. Exhale, reach long across towards that corner of the ceiling. Inhale, control those elbows down, reach wide. Last 2, find those front abdominals. On your last 1, I want you to pull from those armpits to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Lay everything down. And we're gonna go for our hug a tree here. So start with your hands completely straight up to the ceiling. Now we're gonna rotate our palms so they're facing one another. Bring the fingertips together and now bend the elbows so that you're making a nice circle right above your chest. Dancing arms. And now we're going to inhale, open elbows don't quite touch the ground because we want to keep that round shape. And then we're going to exhale, draw the fingertips together, pull across the chest. You may want a little bit less tension for this because it's a little bit of a harder movement to keep that soft elbow. So it's inhale, open up, broad collarbones. Exhale, press, squeeze across the chest to draw the fingertips together. We're gonna do 4 more. Last 3. Elbows stay wide, thinking hug a narrower tree, and then hug a slightly wider tree. Last one coming up here. Pull the fingertips together and then slowly release that band. You can leave it there or ditch it, whatever's easier. And we're gonna roll over onto our whatever side, it doesn't actually matter, but come into a side lying position, okay? And we're gonna end with a nice chest opener. So head can rest, or if you have like a book, you can put it under there. And the hands come out in front of you, like you're gonna make crocodile jaws. And as you exhale, you're gonna draw that hand up like a rainbow and then bring it back behind you. The goal here isn't necessarily to touch the ground, right? We're trying to keep those hips as stacked as possible, and you should feel a stretch across the chest, but also that really luscious twist in the spine. Let's drop back to center and do that 2 more times. So it's center, reach up and over, create as big of a radius with your fingertips as you possibly can. Reach towards the opposite wall. Last time in this direction. Exhale, fingers reach long. Follow the hand with that gaze. Allow for that cervical movement. Back to center, and let's flip onto the other side for the same thing. So opposite side here, make sure you set yourself up in that strong side lying position. So shoulders and hips as stacked as possible. Hands are out in front of you. And then we start with that exhale, reach out and across. Open the chest. Thinking rotate from the middle back and the head. And draw back to center 2 more times. Reach out and then make that nice semicircle with the fingertips. Eyes are looking past your hand. And draw back to center for 1 more. Exhale, reach out and over. One more breath here. And then on an exhale, draw it back to the center. And come back up to a seated position. And we're gonna wrap up with just a few shoulder rolls. So let's roll forward to start. Find that nice protraction, retraction, elevation, depression, all in the same exercise. And then switch directions. Thinking about widening those collarbones as you leave the shoulder blades down the back. And you guys are done for the day. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop us a comment.